Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I think this is episode 6. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Alrighty. We're here in our original.
Welcome back to what?
Oh, I'm so sorry. If you weren't aware, by clicking on the title on Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon Music or YouTube Music, we're available on so many platforms. This is the Friends in the Wild podcast, and we are so glad you're listening. We really are.
We so are.
There's no way we could be more grateful to our listeners. I can't think of one way.
Unless you told someone else about it, then we might be a little more grateful.
Then we would be, or if you followed us on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
There's 86 people who are our favorites.
Yeah.
Our favorite listeners.
The elite.
Sorry to everyone else. Okay, anyways, Mallie, how have you been?
Life updates.
Yeah.
I've been good. I got home about 30 minutes ago from I went to Nashville, well, like the Nashville area this weekend. And it was really fun. It was just hanging out with my boyfriend's family, and we did some shopping, and I got a really cute thrift find that I was showing LG. I got it, as you guessed, a denim little pullover.
It's so cute. It's like a blue sweater, and then it has like denim pockets.
Yeah.
And denim like elbow patches. So adorable.
The pockets are like the denim pockets on jeans.
Yeah.
It's really cute. Maybe I'll post a
That
picture.
kind of sounds ugly, but it actually is cute. Yeah, we should post a picture of it.
I might put it on this week.
If you're not following us on Instagram, you're gonna miss out on that, and I really don't think you want to do that.
Oh, you don't? It's so cute.
It's so cute.
And then we I went bowling. Yeah.
So fun.
And I hate to say it, but second place. And I was the only girl there. So I'm basically first place.
You're the only girl there? His sisters didn't go?
No, they went prom dress shopping.
Oh,
and
that's fun.
I went with the boys to go bowling.
Okay, pick me.
Oh, well, choose me, love me. That's all I gotta say.
That sounds really fun. Bowling is fun. Yeah. You know?
So, I'm trying to think, did I do anything else? Oh, yes, I meant to tell you. We watched all 4 Hunger Game movies this weekend.
So fun.
I just love the Hunger Games. You literally cannot beat it. It's so good.
Also, the storyline of the Hunger Games is just so good.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
It's so deeply layered. Yeah. But I feel the same way about Gale as I do about Edward Cullen. Because when I was little, I loved Gale. But I think I just thought he was so cute. And Pina is so cute. Josh Hutcherson is cute, but like, honestly, I think I like Gale because he's just taller. I
was gonna say it, but I didn't want to hate.
No hate to.
We love our short kings.
To men below 6'5". I don't know how tall he is.
He is not 6'5".
No, I don't. No, I mean, Hemsworth. Okay, enough about me. I'm so sorry. What about you? Are you done? Yeah. Well, I do want to say, while we're on TV shows, both Love is Blind and The Bachelor are so good this season. For the first time in multiple seasons. Many seasons. To get on it. Yeah, The Bachelor, I'm going to just do like a really quick what I think of The Bachelor right now. Because I do have stuff to say about my weekend. I love him. He's so cute. And have you seen how he's so cute, actually. One of the cutest bachelors ever. And he's almost like AI generated, though. Like, he says the perfect things in every situation, you know? Okay. And to the point that it's, like, almost a little boring. But in certain situations, he does definitely, like, show personality more than some other ones. Which is obviously good because they never show their personalities. It's always just them sitting down and having the most vulnerable, trauma-wrenching conversations. Yeah, exactly. I hate to bring this up. They only talk about, what we said podcast was talking about this the other day. The only thing that they talk about on The Bachelor is like their own relationships and their family trauma. Yeah. Really, that's all. They're never just like playful, and that's not the majority of relationships. I don't think. It's like whoever wins is gonna have the most traumatic life story. Yeah, it's like weird. You win. Your dad died 3 times or something. 3 times? Like whoever has wild. The most just. Ugh, her arms were cut off. Her legs were cut off. Her eyeballs were cut off. Yeah, literally. That is how it feels. But everyone's like Maria. They're like, she's sort of controversial, but most people like her. She actually has a personality, and she's one of the first ones in a long time, and all the girls hated her for a while. But now all the mean girls are gone, so. Nice. Yeah. Okay, now tell us. And then,
Oh.
Sorry, I also have to talk about Love is Blind. There's a girl on Love is Blind, they're, like, in the pods.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
Like, some
Yeah, I
seasons?
watched a whole season.
Um, she told one of the guys that she looks like Megan Fox. Like,
She's lying.
she
There's no
okay,
way.
she said I will say she said that she doesn't see it. But if you tell someone that and you're in that situation, like, obviously they're gonna think, "Oh, she's so hot." Like,
Megan Foxy is across the wall
seriously.
from me.
Yeah, and everything you say, they're gonna be hearing that through the lens of Megan Fox saying it, you know?
Yeah.
That's, like, not fair. That's not what the experiment is
No,
about.
you're not supposed to say what you look like.
Yeah.
It's Love
But
is
she was
Blind.
and she brought it up, she was like, "So, do people tell you you have a celebrity lookalike?"
No, she's trying to break the rules.
Yeah, and he's like, "No, do they tell you? Obviously." And then he, thinks that's, like, amazing.
Yeah,
He's like
he's stoked.
he's seriously, like, he's weird about it, he's kind of a loser. But anyway, I'm excited for the future of these seasons.
It's exciting to have good reality TV.
Yeah. I'm kinda in my reality TV era,
Nice.
which is fun. It's
Yeah.
fun to, like, come home and wind down, and me and my roommates are well,
That's fun. It's fun
Jana,
to watch it
just
with
Jana.
people.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to some current events in my life. So on I feel like I did something. No, I guess I just got ready for Kerrigan's party on Friday night, and Kerrigan's party was on Saturday, but I was getting ready on Friday. So, one of my roommates who now is in Nashville for a job, but she like has lived with us throughout college. It was her 22nd birthday party, and or her 22nd birthday actually like tomorrow when we're recording this. So we had her birthday party and it was all pink because she's a big pink
Mhm.
girl, and we made her a sun and made her a cake, and it was so fun. And I got edible glitter. Did I send you that?
Yeah, in the drinks.
Yes.
It looked
It
so
was
cute.
it was like unlocking my like inner little kid who wanted to like make mud pies and like potions and stuff with random junk.
Yeah, that you
I
found
was
in the
like
yard.
yes, I was like dumping the glitter in there, stirring it up, and then Kerrigan was like, "I feel like this glitter is making me cough." I was like, "No, it isn't. It is the most fine dust ever. It's not
That's
making her
fun though.
cough."
Did it like get in your teeth? You smile and you have
I
a
was like noticing that it was on some people's lips, but just like a little bit. Like you just see one little like glisten. It was
like a
cute.
glitter grill.
I was really I was beautifying
The
the
world.
party.
You're adding your own sparkle.
Seriously. I left a little sparkle everywhere I went. You know that?
Everywhere you went.
Yes.
I'm aware. I probably
Um,
used it on Instagram a time or two.
I guarantee you did,
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
Um, anyways,
It's fun. It looked
yeah,
like you all had a good time.
we
It looked
did.
like she had
Oh,
fun.
and I also made a trivia thing for her. If you want to, listeners, if you want to make someone's birthday special, I made her I was gonna do it on Kahoot, but apparently I used some feature that I was gonna have to pay for. So I went to Mentimeter, and which I'd used for some classes, and it was so fun. And there were like
Aw,
probably 10 to 15 people there. I think maybe, yeah, around there. And everyone was like so into it, and it was just so fun.
that
We had a
is
great
fun.
time, and I think Kerrigan had fun, which I was so glad. So earlier on Saturday, we took roommate senior pictures, and it was so fun. I'm so excited to see them. Maybe I'll post them on the pod Instagram so you guys can
Maybe.
see.
Maybe.
We'll take my roommates on soon.
Yeah, we will.
Um, so
Okay, wrap it up.
I think I'm ready. I think that's all.
Okay, so tell them what we're going to talk about.
So we're
Awesome.
gonna be talking about our girls trip that we took for Mallie's graduation. It was like December what 13th or 10th through the 14th or something. 10th through the
Something
15th.
like that,
It was
yeah.
a pretty short and quick trip, but it's been requested, highly requested,
It
that we
actually
talk about it.
has been.
Yeah, some people have really wanted us to talk about it.
But we're not going to bore you all with just telling you exactly what we did. We're going to make this a survival guide.
Yes.
Survival guide for your first girls trip or your first adult trip. And when I say survival guide, I don't mean thriving guide. I just mean literally living
We're
to see the end of the
surviving.
trip.
Yeah, to be able to tell about it later.
To be home in your own bed
Mhm.
after the trip. There's no better feeling. So this is how you survive your first big girl trip.
Although we were literally only gone for 5 days.
And we
5
had
days.
such an amazing
And it was so fun. It could have been way longer, but we just want to go over it because it was so fun, and it was just
and we need to
it was
like,
quite the
remember it.
whirlwind. Yeah, we need to have it marked in history on our
Yeah.
podcast, you know?
While it's still fresh on the brain. So for my graduation trip, I kind of wanted to, it was winter, and I really just wanted to channel Lorelai Gilmore Girls vibes. It's my favorite TV show, my comfort show, and it got me through nursing school a lot. I would just put it on, and it was just comforting to watch, I think.
Mhm.
If you want the Gilmore Girls guide, we've got you.
Yeah, slash Taylor Swift, because we did go to her house, as we will discuss at length.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, so let's just kick it off.
Kick it off.
The weekend that we left, was also the weekend of two big events in our lives: Mallie's graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Actually three. We'll say three. Mallie's graduation, the Megan Maroney concert
Oh,
at the
yeah.
Mill and Mine, which we have talked about on the pod before, and Mallie's graduation surprise party, which of course she did not know about prior. So I was like
Yeah.
trying to plan everything, which I could have just said whenever we were planning the trip, like, let's not leave that day, because I definitely already knew that it was then. So that's totally on me.
You dropped the ball.
But it all worked out.
Let's give just quickly some timestamps of that weekend. So
Yeah.
I graduated on a Friday at what, 2 o'clock probably?
Yeah, 2 o'clock.
And then my whole family was there, and everyone went home, and I was like, why does no one want to, because it's 3 hours from where we live. I was like, why does no one want to hang out with me? But it was because I was having a surprise party the next day. But then
And when we used the concert actually to like get you to be okay with going home.
So we then went to Knoxville that night to the Mill and Mine to watch Megan Maroney. As that was so fun. It was just
It was so fun.
a crazy graduation night kind of thing to
Mhm.
do. And then we went home that night.
No, it's so crazy.
And then the next day, no, once again, my family does not want to hang out with me, and I'm just like, guys, I'm about to go on a big trip. Like,
Big trip.
why don't
Back
you
on the
want to
15th.
hang out with me? So our friend Madison wanted to take some friendship pictures like of us because she's a photographer and wanted the practice, so she said. So
Friendship pictures.
yeah.
So funny.
So she hauls us like 30 minutes away from our hometown and it just takes like 10 pictures of us. And I was so
Literally,
confused
we took
at this
pictures
point.
for like 10 minutes max.
Yeah, I was just like, we drove all this way for 10 pictures. I was just really confused. And then we were making our way back, and at this point, it's like 6 o'clock. I'm like, there's no way that there's like anything going on. Because, like you might have a little suspicion. And then she's like, I want to go take pictures at this one wall. And our town is tiny. I was like, what wall are you talking about?
She said this wall in this building.
And then she pulls up to the most known building in our town.
Literally where every like event has ever been in our entire lives. Our
Yeah.
8th grade formal, like everyone's graduation
Right.
party, everything.
And I was wearing jeans. And Laura Grace had come and raided my closet earlier.
There was this one dress that me and her mom both wanted her to wear. And so I was trying so hard. I was like, don't forget that dress. Don't forget that dress. Guess what? She didn't bring the dress home. I think that now you subconsciously thought, I don't want to wear that dress this weekend for anything in my life, so I'm not bringing it home.
It was sabotage.
Yeah.
So they made me change into a skirt in the parking lot of that building. And I was like, something's
But at
up.
this point, you're like suspecting.
Yeah. So we walk in, and then everyone yells surprise. And it was so sweet because people that have been in my life since I was little that I don't get to see very often and that live a large distance away. Like one woman drove 4 hours just to be there. I obviously bawled like a baby.
Yeah, it was so
just,
sweet.
and my mom absolutely knocked it out of the park with the decorations.
Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. It was so good.
She can be like a party planner. It looked amazing. Maybe we'll post some pictures of it.
We definitely should, because it was so like there wasn't even any like inspiration on Pinterest really. It was just like
it's just that
completely original, and like it was very Tennessee Tech-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
I went to Tennessee Tech, guys. Surprise.
You haven't figured it out. If you're a stalker or something, Mallie went to Tennessee Tech. It was very like, it was very purple and like good for graduation, but it wasn't like overly golden eagle, and it wasn't overly nursing, but it was like definitely you could notice it. It was perfect.
It wasn't like cringy nursing.
Yeah, it wasn't tacky like the Red Cross stuff.
Not that the Red Cross is tacky.
No, but like, the big bright like emergency symbols,
Right, yeah. So then that night, Laura Grace and I have to drive back to Cookville to my apartment.
And her graduation party started at 7.
Yeah, and
was it? No, it was 5.
I think we left at 11. Left the building.
Definitely. And we still had to go to Mallie's apartment in Cookville, and she had to pack.
which is 3 hours from our hometown.
Yeah, but it's on the way to Nashville.
So, what we really failed to do is to look at the weather that night. We were just dumb and decided that everything is perfect, nothing could ever go wrong. So, this is the tip number 1 on our survival guide. Check the weather before you plan a trip, or each day of your trip, check the weather. So it's 12 o'clock at night, and Laura Grace and I are driving 3 hours to my apartment. It's tornado watch.
It is okay. I'm driving at this point, and like I drive to Mally's apartment, and there's this road that sort of connects like our town to Knoxville, and it's just basically a straight, like it's literally a straight shot the whole way, like very monotonous. And I'm not kidding. I've never seen a storm that bad in my life. And you can see like way down the road, and it's like lightning every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. Like it was an insane storm.
Yeah.
And then we pull off under this what's it called? Gas station for like 30 seconds. And I'm googling like, can you get struck by lightning inside a car? Is it dangerous to drive in a storm? I'm, just making sure that research wise we're fine. Like we've done our due diligence, even though clearly we haven't. And we were like, okay, let's just keep going. It's not going to get better. Then it gets worse, and I literally cannot, I'm probably going 10 miles an hour, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to pull off at this church. Well, I pull off the road. We get probably not even 3 feet, probably 2 feet.
Yeah.
From this, like, gate in front of the church.
That
and
was
it's white. It's bright white. Could not see it until we were 2 feet from it. I was so close to just running straight into the gate. And then we just like are barely off the road, just stopped there. And then, not under anything, just sitting in the pouring rain. And it never gets better. Like we drive all the way to, once we got on the interstate, it was a little better.
Right.
But all the way to Knoxville, which is like probably like an hour and a half, it was absolutely pouring down. Yeah.
To tell people how bad it was, this is actually terrible. 6 people died in Nashville due to tornadoes that night. And we were driving head on towards that area.
Yeah, we're just driving straight toward Nashville.
We're stupid is what we are.
Yeah. But honestly, what were we going to do? Miss our whole trip?
I mean, obviously not.
Clearly, we were not going to do that. And we were bought on a budget. We couldn't just buy new plane tickets.
No, I mean, Spirit Airlines only gets so cheap.
Seriously.
So we get to my apartment probably about 2:30. I have to pack. So we get about 30 minutes of sleep because our flight is obviously at 7 a.m.
Of course.
Or we have to drive another hour and a half. So we go an hour and a half. Let's give a shout out to my girl Sarah, who drove us to the airport, my bestie from nursing school.
She's an angel.
She woke up at 6 in the morning to drive us to the airport. And she took us, and she missed the exit twice to get to the airport. It was just, we were just so worn out. Nothing could actually get any worse. But we made it, and then we flew to Boston, and it was really a nice flight. No crazy things happened, but then the rental car occurred.
I do want to say that morning in the airport, we were completely delirious.
Oh,
just giggling at the dumbest. Actually, maybe we'll share the video.
We definitely. Our stories are going to be so long.
We were just being so stupid.
Yeah.
And funny. We were just laughing at everything.
And we were exhausted.
Things that were not funny. Yeah, we had gotten 30 minutes of sleep. So.
Yeah.
And then the night before we were at a concert, so we didn't sleep at all that night either. But, so we get to Boston. Yeah. And we had gotten a rental car. Actually, my mom, let's go ahead and give my mom a shout out. She booked our whole trip. We financed it because we're big girls. This was part of our first big girl trip.
Right.
But she is a travel agent, newly a travel agent. So, guys, go follow her Facebook page. It's Jenkins Adventures because Jenkins Travels was already taken.
Oh, no, I like Jenkins Adventures.
I think it's fun.
Also, I have to say that having her as our travel agent made the trip.
Yeah.
She just aligned everything for us. I mean, we kind of gave her some inspo for a couple places we want to stay, but she handled everything for us.
We'll get into each place that we stayed, but it was perfect. It was for us specifically.
Yeah. It was, she did excellent stuff.
She'll totally tailor your trip to your needs.
And we were her first trip. Yeah. She did. So that's even more so.
It was really, she did really such a good job, which I knew
She
she would.
did.
She always plans our vacations in
She made
advance.
us little folders with crossword
Yes.
puzzles.
She has always every vacation we've ever gone on, and we've always done kind of like road trippy things or like semi-educational things, and she's always made us folders for everywhere we've been. And that she always makes like word searches and crosswords and stuff with our names in them and like specific things for like what we're doing and like the place that we're going to. So she did that for me and Mallie. It was so
It
fun.
was so sweet.
So yeah. So follow her and book a trip with her. Please.
Right.
Um, so anyway,
Let's dive into the rental car.
the rental car was the low point of the trip,
Oh,
110%. And
yes.
honestly, it was probably the only low point.
Yeah, it
Well,
really,
there was one
besides
other
the
for
weather
me. Oh, the weather, yeah.
on the first day. But so our rental car, we were deceived by the name Thrifty Rental Cars, and we chose our car through Thrifty, and it was not a thrift, y'all.
It wasn't.
So we were told that Laura Grace had lost her license, so she had a paper copy.
Yep.
And we were told she and I would both be able to drive. So we
By
were
the guy at the thrifty desk.
yes, who also decided to charge us he could tell we were new
Yeah.
and like never had traveled
And
before.
we told him, we were like, Mom had heard that she was like, just ask for discounts and you never know, like they might give them to you. We were like, hey, dude, you want to help us out? No. He instead charges us for every single add on that he possibly could have. This rental car was already paid for. Like, I think that we should have had to pay like $100 max.
Yeah.
And he added on so many things, and we just didn't know. Like, that was completely us just being naive and saying
Yes.
whatever. But it was so much money that we did not even have like a credit card with that much on it.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we can't do this. Like,
yeah, what are we gonna do?
yeah.
So he
So,
eventually gets the hint that we don't have money.
Yeah, miraculously, this gets split more than in half. Like,
Yeah.
he discounts this so much because we just couldn't pay it. Anyway,
Also,
so that was just so
yeah,
obnoxious.
it was terrible. Also, tip number 2, do not forget your insurance card or your AAA card when everything to do with the car is on your name. Everything was on my name. It was my card. I forgot my insurance card and my AAA card because I packed at 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I should have been more prepared. But my heart sank. I was sweating, dripping in that airport.
I honestly don't even know if you had to have it. Like, you have insurance.
Obviously
I don't know that you. I mean, if we would have gotten pulled over, you might have had to, but luckily, spoiler, we didn't get pulled over.
Anyways, so we get out to our rental car and we're told Laura Grace can't drive. So I have to drive the entire
At this point, whenever he told me that, I was like being very combative because and I'm never like that, but I was like annoyed, so annoyed. And at this point, he'd already tried to charge us $1 jillion, and we were so tired that I think whenever we finally got in the car, we just drove in silence for like 20 minutes.
Oh, don't worry, guys, though. It was pouring rain.
Pouring. The storm had gone from Nashville to Boston somehow.
Seriously.
I don't think storms go south to north, but this one did.
It did. We had to drive 3 hours to Connecticut.
Uh-huh.
Laura Grace had to take our folders with our adorable crossword puzzles and cover the console screen so I could see the road.
Yeah, like it really, I do feel like it made a difference because it was so bright and like it was like it wasn't going to the nighttime mode, but I think it was. I think it was just so disrupted by the rain and everything. But anyway, yeah, so I drove with the folders covering like all the light so that she could see the road, and still you could not see the lines on the road at all.
No.
It was awful. And it was like that again the whole time. Sorry for the clap. But until we arrived in Simsbury, which is where our trip takes a turn for the best. And then it stays at the best, I would say.
So our tip number 3, I'm here with majority of the tips right now. You'll have to chime in a few tips.
You can be the tip girl.
I'm gonna give you a tip, y'all. Splurge on a cute bed and breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
You need to spend a little money on a place that you're excited to stay in. Especially for us, because the weather was bad, we could have stayed in that room and been content the entire week. I really believe that. So we stayed at a cute bed and breakfast. We will definitely show you all some pictures of that on our Instagram. But it was like we pulled in, and I was just sitting here while you were talking, and like the feeling came back to me of pulling up and seeing this bed and breakfast. It was just like,
And it was
Yeah.
just in the middle of this adorable town. We had
Yes.
driven by these super cute houses, like, so Connecticut, and it was perfect, and that was the morale boost that we really needed.
Oh, yes. It was just so beautiful. And when we got in there, we ordered pizza and had it
Yes.
delivered. And it was just, we were sitting there like we're actually here. You know, we
Mhm.
were, if driving distance, we were like 15 hours away from home. And it was like, we're sitting here on this bed doing our first trip. We made it. And
Yeah.
it was a relief to be out of the car.
And it was, yeah, it was this historic, it was called the Simsbury,
Yeah.
we should
The
say it right. Simsbury Inn?
18.
Simsbury 1820 House, yeah, that's what it was called. And it was just right smack dab in the middle of this town. And when we got up we thought, oh, good, we can just walk everywhere. When we got up in the morning, we realized that we looked a little crazy walking everywhere because
Yeah. It
it
wasn't
was a
really a
town
walking
like where
town.
we grew up. Like it wasn't, which honestly people walk in town, but
Yeah.
this
It was a
was,
different.
we looked a little weird because we were like in our our braids and our bows and, on
Yeah.
our Christmas trip walking around this random town that no one really goes to. But I would highly recommend that you go there because it was so sweet. I loved it.
And we ended up staying 2
Simsbury,
nights there.
Connecticut. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
was so nice because we came back to the same adorable little place
Yes.
after a day of, like, shopping and driving around, and it
And it
was
really
so
wasn't
fun.
even expensive.
No, it
It
was
was like
not
a
bad at
little
all.
more expensive than our other places, but it was
Yeah,
totally doable.
and then we decided to go out to dinner and have, like, one real fancy meal on our trip
The
because
next day.
we were in
Oh,
college, so
first, let's say we just basically the first day or the day that we were there for the full day, we basically just explored the area, like went to
yeah.
antique shops and we got coffee 3 times that day just because we wanted to go to all the coffee shops. And we went to this one little store and asked this lady for some recommendations and she kind of like guided the rest of our time there. And she recommended Abigail's in
That Mallie called Annabelle's the
the
entire time.
entire time. And eventually I was like, it's Annabelle's. We're going to Annabelle's tonight. The whole day we had planned to go there, and she, I swear, probably 15 times said Annabelle's. It was so funny. But, so yeah, that's another tip I would say is to like in a shop or somewhere, that is someone that you trust and like kind of gets your desires for the trip, kind of understands like you know, who you are.
The vibe of
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
doing.
the vibe. And for us, that was a boutique owner,
Yeah.
and she gave us some really good recommendations, and we had a blast because of her.
So we did, like, decided that we would have one fancy meal, so we got it was 3 courses, a little appetizer, entree, and dessert for $30, which is a steal,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah, yeah,
and it was
it
delicious.
was so
It's like
good.
candlelit, it looked like
Yeah,
we were on a date. It was adorable.
there were people on dates all around us,
Yes.
actually.
It was
Oh,
just so
and
fun.
also, I will say we were there on a Monday, I think,
Mhm.
and a lot of the shops were closed, which was sad, but so I would also say that as a tip if you
Yeah,
are going to, like, a little town like that,
'cause
stuff's
our
gonna be
town
closed on
is
Mondays
like
and
that.
Tuesdays, yeah.
But anyways,
But we still had so much fun.
yeah, Simsbury was probably my favorite town
It
that we
was
went to.
yeah, and oh, and of course, everything was all decorated for Christmas.
Yeah, the
It was
Christmas
so
lights.
perfect. It was very Hallmark
Yes,
town.
very.
Okay, we're moving on from Simsbury.
Let's move on.
So then we leave Simsbury at probably like what time did we leave? 3? No, 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 no. We woke up the next
Kinda
morning
early.
and got
10.
coffee at the coffee spot, which was so cute.
Mhm.
It's a little just old house that's converted to a coffee shop. And we headed toward the Gilmore Girls towns, which were a little more like what would that be? Southwest
Yeah.
Connecticut. So we went to, as Melly said, New Milford, Litchfield. Well, in this order, we went to Litchfield, Washington, and New Milford, right?
Yep.
So, Litchfield was like very uppity, I would say.
Yes.
Like it was like we went in this one store and everything was like $1 million, which
Yep.
is fun. Like it's cool to just see that stuff.
Right.
But obviously we didn't buy anything. And
Nope.
maybe one day when the podcast takes off,
Y'all can sponsor our
we'll go
next trip.
back. We'll go back to Litchfield. We'll fit in. No, I don't. Anyway, let's move on. So we just took some pictures in Litchfield. It
Yeah.
was still really fun. But it wasn't really giving Gilmore Girls, I don't think.
No, it wasn't a main inspiration
No,
for
maybe
me.
like Logan
Maybe.
would go to this place and get Rory gifts.
Working bag.
Hmm
I
It
talk
was in
about that Birkin bag every episode.
It lives in your head. So then we went to Washington, and what we discovered was everything online just said Washington, but really it's like Washington and then Washington Depot. Is that the other
Yes.
town? So in Washington, it's really cool. There's like a prep school, and
Yeah.
we pull up, and it's like almost like on top of this
Mountain.
mountain. Yeah. And there's just these kids walk like all that's there really besides a few houses is this like you can tell super fancy like prep school,
Right.
private prep school. And it was just sort of crazy, and we were like, I don't think there are any businesses here. We were looking for this lunch spot that's apparently kind of like Luke's. So we found out that that was in what was that in Washington Depot, or
It
was
was
the
in the depot area. Yeah.
so basically, you just like go down the mountain, and then there's like businesses and stuff. So we ate at this place called Marty's, which is apparently supposed to be like Luke's. They say that the what's the woman's name who wrote
The
Gilmore
rider.
Girls?
I can't
I don't
remember her
remember,
name.
but apparently she was eating in there, and some of the like regulars went back and like filled up their own coffees and stuff, and that inspired her.
Yeah.
They
And
say.
then the Hickory Sticks bookshop
Wait, no,
had.
no, that was in New Milford.
Oh, sorry. I'll cut
She's
it.
spoiling.
I'll cut it out.
You don't have to cut it out.
No, okay. I'm remembering. I had my areas confused.
Yeah,
Every
in Washington
town
Depot, we what?
had a gazebo in it.
Yeah, that is true. Well,
And
actually, did we see one in Litchfield?
I think so. I think we couldn't see.
Well, also, we just drove through so many towns. The towns in
Yeah.
Connecticut are so close together.
Yeah.
Which if you're listening from Connecticut, you might sound dumb talking about your state, but who cares? We don't know it.
We don't know you.
We don't know you guys. Why are you even listening? Anyway, so we went to Marty's, and it was.
Sorry, pause. Every episode, I'm like mad at the listeners.
Why are you guys listening to this? Like, seriously.
Okay,
Anyway, so we went to Marty's, and it was delicious. Wait, there's something that you didn't like about Marty's.
Oh, the burger. It was not good.
That's sad. Well, didn't I get a Cuban?
Yeah, yours
I
was
never
good.
get stuff like that, but it was delicious.
And the
It was
coffee
so
was
good.
good.
Yeah, was that your favorite coffee of the trip?
I think
it
so.
was.
I had like a caramel apple coffee or something
Yeah.
like that. It was really good.
I really liked mine too. But we had rankings of our coffee. I wish we had written them down.
Yeah, every day we sat down when we were going to eat a new meal and was like, okay, where do we stand in our coffee rankings?
Anyways, so then we went to New Mill. Well, no, we went to a little pet shop, and it was cute, but we didn't find anything. So then we went to New Milford, which was, I think, the most Gilmore Girls-ish town.
I agree.
And they really like leaned into it.
Hickory Sticks bookshop was in Washington Depot. Remember, they had a corner set up. That's where we bought the Laura Graham. What is her first name? Lauren Graham book, and they had the Gilmore Girls guide. So we walked down to Dose's Market.
Right, but
and then
where
the square was
did these things connect?
What do you mean?
Like, how did we get from Marty's to the other area?
We walked. It was, remember it.
Yes. I remember now. And we went in the post office, and I said, theoretically, how much would it be to ship something to Tennessee? And she said, I don't know. And I thought, awesome.
Great.
You look like a person who's worked in the post office for a long time, and you don't know that. Interesting. You're just being rude. So I was kind of annoyed. That was like a 30-second experience. So anyway, Washington was, like the market. There was a little Christmas market that was so cute. So I did forget about that whole second part of Washington, but it was very Gilmore Girls-ish, and there was one store that, wasn't it called like Stars Hollow something? Or
Stars Hollow Yarns.
That was in Washington, or like right outside of Washington.
There's a yarn shop literally called Stars Hollow. If you don't know Gilmore Girls, they live in Stars Hollow, and it was Stars Hollow Yarns, and we tried to go, but it was closed.
And also, I had just bought this pair of gloves from the lady who was so nice to us in the boutique, and I left one of the gloves there, and we had to go back and get it.
Our Grace lost this glove and talked about it every 5 minutes, and I was like, we're 15 minutes away, I'll turn around.
The gloves were like my souvenir from that place, and I loved those. I just bought them because we wanted to buy something from that nice lady, but then I became obsessed with the gloves. And then I dropped one out of the car.
And she said, don't turn around. And I literally put it in the maps by myself. I wasn't even talking to her. And I drove over there. I got out and marched over there and found it.
I was like, it's probably not even there. We like called the post office where we stopped to mail some postcards. Oh, also we'd been buying postcards at all these places. We at this
That's
point,
your tip.
yeah, okay, that is a tip. If you want to spend money, if you want to like get souvenirs that aren't gloves, and be cheap about it, buy a postcard and mail it home and bring some stamps with
Yeah.
you. That can get expensive a little,
The
but usually they're
postcards,
like $1.
yeah, it was so fun because we mailed them to our parents and people
Yeah,
we knew, and
it's so
everyone would
fun.
text us back, "Hey, I just got your postcard."
I like to do that from every trip that I go on, you
Did
know?
you see that I mailed you one? Did you ever get it?
Yeah, I did. I texted you, I thought.
No.
But I didn't even know that you did
I
that.
know, I did it
That was in
in
Boston, wasn't
Boston,
it?
yeah.
Anyway, so moving on. Um, we go to New Milford. Is that where we are? We go to New Milford? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they really lean into that. I feel like there were several people there that we saw who were also on like a Gilmore Girls trip.
Yeah,
They
because they
had
had signs up and stuff.
yes, they had a lot of stores that had, themed like merch basically. And it was really sweet. And they had a really cool antique store. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like a
The sign said, "Come on in, we're not as mean as Miss Kim."
yes, that was so sweet. So anyway, we loved that. That was like basically the reason we went and but I
Yeah.
wouldn't say spoiler that it was my favorite part.
No,
I loved it, but I don't
but
think it's my favorite.
it was still fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. Loved it. So then we head to New Haven.
New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah.
So this is where my second tip comes in. This entire trip, we decided that we were going to try to eat at places we've never eaten or places that are local to that area, just not any chain restaurants. We broke this promise that night because we felt very unsafe for a little while. There was just a lot of eerie
Yeah.
feelings going on.
We come into New Haven after dark, and it was probably like 9:30. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
too late, but it was a little bit I was looking on like Reddit because I was feeling weird in the hotel room and I was like, I just want to check and see what people say about this. I'm become a Reddit girl if you haven't noticed. I've mentioned it like 3 times in the past 3 episodes. So I'm on Reddit, I'm like looking this up and the road that our hotel was on was like just getting into the like only kinda maybe could be bad part of town. So it was a little bit sketchy at first. So
Yeah.
we're like, let's just get Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
So
Well, it was a
we
good
go
move.
we go and get Steak and Shake. We eat it in our hotel room. Should we talk about how we heard people
No.
Are you sure? It'd be funny.
We heard intimate noises twice on this trip.
Like I had never heard it
Me
before, like in
either.
a hotel. But yeah, 2 different times.
Everywhere we went, they went with us.
These people were following us around and
It was just really
making us
disturbing.
uncomfortable. But it honestly was so funny that it happened twice.
It was funny.
It's like, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. That's us on that trip. Anyway, so we sat and ate our Steak and Shake and listened to some fun noises.
So then the next day, we're going to explore New Haven. And if you don't know, Yale is in New Haven, which is where Rory went to college.
And
So,
also, it'd be cool to see
Yeah.
Yale. Like, that would be so fun.
so we just
We thought.
gallivanted on Yale's properties and quoted, "Why did you drop out of Yale?" about 80 times. And we went and ate at this really cute burger place. That was.
No, you're skipping the bookstore.
Oh, I'm
The gift shop.
sorry. I'm going to let you shine, baby girl.
Okay, so we leave our hotel. We are like walking. And first of all, we loved New Haven.
It was very beautiful.
After we left, we were like, wow, that was like such a cool place.
In the
It's
daytime.
such a cool place.
We
Yeah.
love it in the daylight.
Yeah.
Not the moonlight.
And it wasn't, I do want to clarify, it was not bad at all. Like, it was
No.
just, we were kind of tired and, so we just got Steak and Shake. But, so we go to the Yale bookstore. That's our first stop because we just passed it first. So we go in there and we're looking around. We're thinking, oh, these aren't that expensive. We're going to buy them later, on our way back. Well, my nose starts profusely bleeding in the middle of the store. And
So I jump into nurse mode
well,
automatically.
first I'm like, oh my gosh, my nose is bleeding. What the heck? And it drips on the floor once. So there is some DNA in that bookstore. But I go outside and Mallie comes out there to see like what's going on. And I'm out there and like just profusely bleeding. And I think it's because like different humidities and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
Like,
really hot
air
in our
pressure.
hotel room, and then
That's true. And sometimes just hotel air like blowing in your face all the time from the.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's not uncommon. I kind of like I'm kind of a nosebleeder.
You really are. Because
That's a
it happened again
when.
at my apartment after the trip.
Oh yeah, and like a lot of times when I'm in the shower,
Yeah.
this is way too much information. But anyway, so my nose bleeds and I'm out on the street, just like, leaned over trying to not
Leaning.
get this on. Oh, I'm also wearing a white outfit.
And my jacket.
And Mally's new Forever 21 $15 jacket. Luckily it was
It
on me.
doesn't matter that was $15.
No, it was really cute. But it came out.
Well,
The blood came out.
but it's still scarred. It has the memories with it.
And probably also some of my DNA. But anyway, so I'm on the street, bleeding profusely. And
As one does.
Mally comes back out there and she's got the ladies in there who were very nice to get me some like napkins. And, there's nothing you can do. You just have to wait it out. So I'm just standing there and I'm like, it's all over my face, on my hands, a little bit on Mally's jacket, and on my shoes, everywhere. And this nice man walks by and gives us like some Vaseline. And he's like, I'm a dad.
So we trusted him
Whatever.
immediately.
And he's like, I promise I've only used this Vaseline once. Like, and he's like giving me tips. Everyone, I will say, I think everyone was nicest in New Haven.
Yeah.
Everyone
They were
was,
so
like,
nice.
weirdly nice. No one was really rude anywhere else, but except that post office lady. But
then
so,
we
yeah,
went to the
then we
burger
went
place.
to, well, yeah, and Mally of course had to take pictures of
I'm
me
posting it.
in my weakest moment. So anyway, stay tuned for that one on the Instagram. So then we go to Lewis's Lunch, which is apparently there are claims that it's the first hamburger ever.
Seriously?
I think.
They were like hamburger.
But
invented.
if you go to New Haven, you really have to go to this place. It's like famous.
Yeah.
And a lot of like Yale students I think go there. I think that was the whole table was a table of Yale students. I think.
do too.
But they don't have condiments. They only have cheese and tomato.
And onion.
Yeah. And it was that sounds so weird, but it was delicious.
It was really
such a good burger.
Just such a cool environment.
And they make it in the same exact ways as they always have, and it's
Yeah.
like from the 1800s. So it's just so cool. Highly recommend that if you are going to New Haven. Although if you like look up New Haven, that's like the lunch spot that comes up because it's so famous. But anyways, so then we went to Urban Outfitters, and I do want to say at Urban Outfitters they were having a huge like clearance sale, and I found this dress that I had been obsessed with. I had seen it on Nuuly, like the clothing rental place, but it was so expensive and I never wanted to rent it. So I found this dress and it was $4.
What? Still?
And I just thought, wow, this is like where I'm supposed to be in this moment, you know?
It was actually a full circle. I'm
It was
so glad you got that dress.
Crazy. You should have gotten it. There
I
was
should have.
two.
I know.
I don't know why you didn't also get it. You can wear mine. Anyway,
I'll bleed over it.
if Mallie posts on Instagram wearing a yellow floral mid-length dress, just know that it's mine, okay? If I don't let you know in the comments, because I probably
She
will.
will, guys. Do not worry. She's not gonna let me have a thing.
Okay, so
But then from there, we
take
traveled
it away.
to Watch Hill, Rhode Island. And this is the Taylor part of the podcast, guys. This is where Taylor Swift's beach house is.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, you can listen to The Last Great American Dynasty to hear more about this home.
She wrote the Last Great American Dynasty about Holiday House, about this house.
Right. But it was like a ghost town because everyone's so rich that owns a house there. They only live there in the summers.
Yep.
So we got the whole town to ourselves.
We probably saw 6 human beings the whole time.
And one
we were
dog
only there for like 2 hours. And yeah, this guy just like let his dog chase it. Anyway, continue.
Anyways, we took some pictures in front of the house. We walked to the lighthouse, and it just so happened that it was Taylor Swift's birthday that day.
Yes, and we didn't even think about that until like the day we left.
Yeah.
We did not plan it, but it was perfect.
So we walked along the beach, sang happy birthday to Taylor Swift, and just really, we've never been to the beach. Yeah, we have, but not like by ourselves together.
Yeah.
So it was fun to be on the beach. And
yeah, it was just, I don't think I've ever been to the beach in like winter.
I haven't.
And it was such a sunny day. It was beautiful.
It really felt like time stood still.
Yeah, it was a weird moment, but like, I think that was the highlight of my trip. We've talked about this
too. And we did some thrift shopping that afternoon.
Well, and Mallie has also said we walked out to this lighthouse and then walked back and was looking at Taylor Swift's house while we were singing Happy Birthday, and it was just such a like silly moment. But Mallie says that was like her quintessential classic us moment. Like, it
It
was
really
just
did.
very sweet and fun and, like, you know,
Very just something
silly.
we would do.
But we were being serious, like, we were not laughing. Like,
No.
we were, like, kinda giggling, but
Well, it was just we were on our first trip together,
yeah.
so far away from home, Taylor Swift's birthday, looking at her house, singing to her in our cute little outfits. It was like I said, time just stood still in that moment. I was like, I could actually live in this moment probably forever.
Yeah. And I will say, like, a lot of times when you're on trips, it's hard to be intentional because you're always, like, thinking about the next thing. But that was a time when we didn't really have to be intentional. It just, like, was so nice and perfect for us and, like, exactly where we wanted to be in that moment
Yeah.
that you just, like, couldn't help but, like, notice the moment, if that
Right.
makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
to, like, reflect on the moment while you're still in it kinda thing,
Yeah. No, that's
So,
exactly it.
yeah. So
That was my favorite part too.
yeah, it was just I don't know why. Like, obviously, we love Taylor Swift so much, but it was a very us moment, you know?
Yeah,
It was
I
about
totally
us,
agree.
not her.
It's not about her, guys, okay? Stop. So then that evening, we thrift shopped our way to Boston
Yeah, we stopped at a
and
bunch of thrifts.
so
Got some really great stuff. Oh, and also on our way to Boston, we stopped at a post office.
that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Or pro tip. I'm so glad we did this. Everything we bought a lot of books and just thrifted stuff that we had found. We mailed it to ourselves. So we didn't have to pay for an overweight
Yeah, it
luggage.
was definitely cheaper than paying for overweight luggage.
How much did it weigh? 11 pounds?
Yeah, and I think it was like $18.
11 pounds, $18. And then when we got home the next week, we got together and we had a package to open. And it was like we were buying all this stuff over again because we had forgotten everything we got. And it was just so fun because
Wait, now I'm thinking it was 18 pounds and $30.
I think
It
that's
was
more
18
like it.
pounds. It was more than 11 pounds. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
But it was still fun. It was like kind of like Christmas morning.
Yes. And we like opened it together. It was so fun.
So that's my next tip is to mail anything you buy because it's something fun to do and
Mhm.
then you don't have to worry about paying for your over 40-pound
Yeah.
luggage. So
And it helps you get over the like post-trip sadness, you know.
right. It gives you something to be excited about.
Mhm.
So we ate dinner and then we go into Boston. And this is where we got really bougie. We stayed like in the heart of Boston, got valet parking for the car because we would have to park on the street. And I was driving and I didn't care who took this car. I wanted it out of my possession. I did not want to see that car
Mhm.
for a while. So I just let him take it
Yep.
for a small fee, obviously.
Well, you would have had to park like public parking was like $60 and valet was like 80, so we're like, "Okay, please take it right
Yeah.
this second." But mom found a like very affordable actually it was really cheap room at the Boston Park Plaza is where we stayed. I
Yes.
wrote that down so I could remember it earlier. And it was so nice.
It was so
And
pretty.
just, like, right in the heart of Boston, we could walk everywhere the next day, and the reason that our room was so affordable is because it was tiny.
It's
Like, you had to, like,
microscopic.
turn sideways to get to the other side of the bed, and it was called a wicked small room because you know, Boston is, like, wicked smart, you know? That's their thing.
No,
So
it
the
was
room
small.
was called Wicked Small Room, and that's why but it was perfect for us, you know?
Yeah. You
If it
didn't
were, like,
care to
a
be
couple
snagged.
or anything, like, it would have been
For that
perfect.
couple that followed us, the altar would have been perfect.
Seriously. They were probably down the hall. They were couldn't get away from us. But, yeah, it was awesome, and it was a good way to, like, be able to stay there, but still, you know, be able to afford it.
Right.
And that night, we, like, just hung out in the hotel lobby and had, like, some Shirley Temples.
Yep.
Oh, because we got a
Drink voucher,
yeah, it
which
was
was
really
cool.
fun, yeah. So we just hung out in the lobby and
Yeah, it was so fun.
kinda, like, reflected on our trip so far.
And then the next day, we just gallivanted through Boston. And
Mhm.
so, my next tip is that day in Boston, our last day, we decided that we wanted to get a matching piece of jewelry to remember our trip by. Obviously, at this point in the trip, the funds are running low. We
Definitely.
were trying to find something that, wouldn't tarnish in a week or two,
Yeah.
but that wasn't gonna send us into debt over this trip.
Yep.
So Kendra Scott was having a sale, buy one, get one half off. So we got little matching rings. And my next tip is make sure the ring does not have the sharpest edges in the world.
Yeah.
Laura Grace and I both cut our knuckles washing our hands wearing these
The
rings.
rings are so cute. They have, like,
I'm
almost little
wearing them right
charms
now.
on them. I don't have mine on right now.
Oh,
Fake. But it has like just, some different little symbols on it. And it has a little star, and the edges of the star like come up above the band.
Yeah.
And seriously, if you're not careful, I think we've pretty much gotten used to it now, although sometimes it still catches.
No, it catches.
But it is so sharp. We need to like file it down or
We
something.
do.
I'm afraid it won't be gold though.
Something we did is we gave meaning to each of the charms, which was fun.
Just like
silly, pointless meanings.
Oh, I will say another tip. Well, we can get to the airport and then I'll tell this tip.
So, yeah, like I said, we just shopped around in Boston.
What was your favorite part of Boston? Oh, sorry. We bought the rings on Newbury Street, which is like the shopping area of Boston. Like that's like the famous area, which was kind of cool in and of itself that we got it like
in the shopping center of Boston.
And it's like a historical shopping site.
I think my favorite part of Boston was we went to a little cafe for lunch and we got grilled cheese and tomato soup and we just sat there and wrote postcards and kind of wrapped up our trip before we left for the airport.
Yeah, I love Boston. I love Boston. I have decided maybe I should go to law school there. I didn't even apply to one. But
that's unfortunate.
My favorite part I think was the Boston Public Library.
I knew you were going to say that.
I loved
it. It was beautiful.
I went to Boston over the summer with my family and we didn't go there. I don't know why, because that's so like up our alley, but we didn't, and so I wanted to go with Mallie, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, it really was.
There's this room, it's called like the reading room or something, and it has all these green lamps at every single station, and like all this, there's Boston is like a huge college town. There's a whole bunch of colleges, and all the students. It was like right in the middle of finals too. I was working on my finals every night, like my papers.
That's a tip, not to go during finals week.
Seriously, but there was so many students just like lining this huge hall working on stuff, and it was just cool.
So then we just went to the airport and we came on home.
Yep. And it was pretty uneventful. Oh, in the airport, I will say, me and Mallie, really any time that we have downtime, but specifically in the airport, I remember, we are big game players, like just with each other. So there are like 3 main games that we play. One of them is trying to say the same word at the same time, like just out of any random word and like doing the word association thing. One of them is
singing a song,
like the first
second of a song.
You may have seen on TikTok when that girl did when you know the words to this song.
Here we go, LG singing.
This is the first time this episode, and this song probably isn't even copyrighted. So yeah, we do that, and we played that a lot over the trip.
Yeah,
and then also doing the thing where you say, like, Mallie's dad's profession, and the famous Shania Twain song. I've done this one before.
Man, I feel like a woman.
Exactly.
So that one's so fun.
We did that in the airport like the whole time.
Okay, so to wrap up the episode, I have just a few more tips and tricks I want to share. So
let me say really quick. On our way home, we stopped and like packed up a lot of Mallie's apartment.
Yeah,
a lot of her college apartment, and then
that was
took it all. So it was kind of a good like cap note to our trip.
It really was. So some tricks that I have to close us out is have someone take a picture of you and the person you're with every day. We have 1 picture together on the entire trip,
and it's from a disposable camera, which we love disposable.
Actually, we have 2
pictures,
but still, we spent 5 days together.
Seriously.
Like I said, buy something matching that you can remember your trip by, and then thrift anything you want to buy. Any memorabilia stuff that you can find something cheaper at the thrift.
And if you're anything like us, you remember where you got every single piece of
it's anything. Just more like, and then meaningful.
Yeah, and then you're like, this is the thing that I bought. And also it's going to be way better quality, chances are.
And you're not going to break the bank.
And you're being ethical.
Right. You'll be a better person for it.
Seriously.
Do you have any...
You can be a better person, like us.
Like us, obviously. Duh.
Just kidding.
Do you have anything that you want to
I don't think so. I think we covered it.
I think it was perfect. Laura Grace is someone that I don't get tired of spending time with.
Yeah. And that
we weren't tired of each other.
No, we spent like the next couple days together after that.
That's so true. We called each other the next day and we're like, hey, do you want to go do something? I miss
what were you doing right after that? I can't remember. But we were like, there was something that we were doing a lot.
We went and got coffee the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, we were studying.
Yeah.
We started studying after that.
Yeah.
In quotes.
No, it
Anyway,
really was perfect.
it was. It was
We
a
had the best
perfect
time
trip.
ever.
And there are our next trip is gonna be a big one. So
It's
stay
gonna be
tuned.
bigger. We're gonna go to an English-speaking country. I'm not doing another language on our first trip. I'm so sorry.
Spain.
I
People
know.
speak English. Like pretty much
I've really been
almost
thinking
anywhere you
about
go.
it.
Any major city, they're gonna be speaking
Stay
English.
tuned, guys.
Guys,
We're leaving you on a cliffhanger.
Instagram DM Mallie and say, go to a non-English speaking country, please. Okay.
Do it, y'all.
So I hope you guys have learned something from these tips and tricks. Obviously we're professionals, so you can take our advice.
If you need more information, just DM us.
Yeah.
We're a wealth of knowledge.
We are absolutely a wealth of knowledge, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. I love that
Really?
phrase. I love the phrase a wealth of knowledge.
That's what we are.
Yep, that's us.
And that's why you listen to this podcast.
Sure is.
To gain knowledge. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Friends in the Wild podcast. We'll see you next week with some riveting new topic. We love ya. We'll see ya. Bye.
See ya.